I saw a graphic, a lot of great graphics out there when you follow a number of college football accounts that just total up things, compile things year after year after year. One that was startling, even when you understand the Ohio State dominance going back to 2005 in the Big Ten. The one that I've never seen listed, but I didn't have to be a brain surgeon to calculate in my mind, is that if you take away 2011, the worst record Ohio State's posted in the Big Ten is 7-1. That's the worst record. That's just crazy. But I saw one this week, Kevin, that showed the winning percentage of all the Big Ten teams versus winning teams with plus 500 records. Ohio State was still at 88% winning percentage against good teams over 500. The next best was Michigan State at like 56%. Michigan was 30-40 against winning teams. This was going back 10 years. It just showed, again, the separation in the conference has just been, it's been more so than what you can count in championships.
Well, you look at the overall picture where Ohio State just doesn't lose a lot of games, period. And then if you sit there and you take a subset of it, it's just not like suddenly they're going to lose a lot more games. And then you look at the games that they've lost, and especially in conference play, you can go back to the foibles with, Purdue and Iowa, and neither of those teams were necessarily great. Ohio State comes out and, when it is a big game, generally takes care of its business. If they're able to roll out a healthy roster, and we're not in the middle of a, international crisis in terms of what your roster looks like due to health. So, I think the biggest thing that shocked me was not Ohio State's record in that instance, but more so where, as you said, Michigan State coming in second, like at 56% or whatever. One team is certainly going to be head and shoulders above the rest. That's just the way it's going to work there. But that the fact that nobody else was, 60% was kind of shocking.
Don't know if you caught any of this, Steve, but I was just bringing up, more metrics to outline Ohio State's dominance in the last 15 to 20 years in the Big Ten. One would be, and I totaled this up in my head real quick. I went through the last 10 years. Ohio State 76-5 in the Big Ten. Wisconsin's number 2 at 59-23. That's the gap between 1 and 2. But this one really hit me. I think 247 Sports posted this on Twitter. Against winning teams with winning records, Ohio State still winning 88% of its game in the last 10 years. Michigan State's next at 58%. There's no other team in the Big Ten over 50% winning percentage. Michigan's like 10 games under 500 against teams with winning records. Buckeyes at 88%. Uh-oh. My bad, Steve.
There, you got me. Sorry about that.
Gotcha. Go.
I may have done that myself too. I don't know. But at any rate, it is crazy, the stat, the run Ohio State has been on. If you look at it 5 years, 10 years, and even back to Jim Tressel starting in 2001, there are some other metrics over a 20-year period that are just astounding. But most particularly in the Meyer era, because they just simply did not lose games unless they were under extraordinary circumstances or to amazing teams, in a lot of cases, rarely upset. And again, it speaks to their dominance. I think that this is something that we're seeing with recruiting and the NFL draft every year that just perpetuates itself year after year after year. And one great quarterback begets another, which begets another, and so on and so forth. And it kind of is a trickle-down effect, I guess, at all these positions. And it's individually each position coach, it's individually each player, each prospect, and then collectively the offense, the defense, and the teams have just been among the very best in the country for a long time. And there's no reason to believe it's going to stop anytime soon. I mean, when we talked about Raiola earlier, they're now set at quarterback through 2026, provided he stays 3 years. You had the Montgomery kid from Ohio who is supposedly blowing up really big for 2025 class. If he comes on, now you're set there through 2027 or even 2028. So you've got the most important position in the sport locked up and under control, theoretically, for the next 6 years. you've got the coach locked up in a lucrative deal. There's hardly anywhere he can go and make any more money. Maybe the NFL, if Jerry Jones paid him $20 million a year or gave him general manager title or something stupid, and I just throw him out there. I didn't mean to say that your boy Jera would go after Day, but
better than who they got now. I mean, Jim and Christmas.
At any rate, you guys know what I'm saying. There's 4 jobs on the planet that he could leave for that would be better than this, and they'd have to pay him a lot more money. So he looks like he's in there for the long haul. They all do. The assistant coaches all seem like they're locked in, and I don't think Kevin Wilson's burning to go anywhere else, and particularly not if they're going to pay him $1.5 million or whatever he's up to now. Jim Knowles is up to $2 million. We'll see if he's worth all that this coming year. Brian Hartline's worth his weight in gold, obviously. So they've got the machinery in place. Mark Pantoni, Mickey Marotti, everybody else that's in place. They've got the machinery in place. You put out 3 first-round picks every year, you're not going to have any problem getting talent. So in some years more, in some years maybe not as many, but yeah, I'm all good with it.